The big news this week was the Republican leadership in the House and Senate and the governor announced that they have a budget deal. They're just now releasing some of those details. We don't have all of it yet, but we expect over the next week to be seeing bills and voting on a budget. Of course, it's a very quick process at the end, not a lot of time for public input. So just to tell you my big way I look at this budget is, does it solve real problems? And what we know so far is that they've put in there a large tax cut that doesn't solve any of the problems with our tax code. So our tax code is out of balance. Wealthy individuals benefit from the way our tax code works. This doesn't fix that. It's going to take a small amount out of the very smallest amount possible out of income tax when it takes out the brackets. But the percentage cut they're talking about is a 1/4 percentage point. That's going to benefit wealthy individuals overwhelmingly. So what we're seeing again is that we're not focused on working Oklahomans. They're still keeping in place a lot of the corporate giveaways that we have that reward large companies, but don't necessarily reward those workers. And so what I'm worried about is that well-connected people are getting what they need again. Meanwhile, our public schools are suffering. We see a small increase to public schools budget, but still a bigger increase to private school vouchers. It's going up by $50 million. That means it'll be $250 million in private school vouchers next year. And we learned just a couple weeks ago exactly who's getting those. It's wealthy Oklahomans primarily, and it's people that were already in private schools. So we're increasing a budget to a program that's not been proven effective. Meanwhile, our public schools, who serve 700,000 kids, are not getting the resources they need to make sure our educators have what they need and we can keep educators in the classroom. We're also very concerned about mental health. You may have seen the news that the Mental Health Agency had a shortfall, thought that maybe they couldn't even make payroll. And this is partly because of big increases to Medicaid. We're going to have to analyze and investigate why we ended up with that cash shortfall. Meanwhile, we have to make sure people are able to get treatment. If they don't get treatment in the community, they're going to end up in hospitals, overdosing or dead, or they're going to end up incarcerated in our system. And so we know that community intervention is really important. And what we're hearing from the health providers who we have been asked to run crisis services is that they don't have the funding to do what they need to do. So it looks like the legislature, the Republicans, have committed to putting in place enough to at least cover the shortfall, make sure our state employees are getting paid. But we're not actually getting the funding into the community that's needed. And we're going to enter the new year with a flat budget for the mental health organization, which is not going to meet the needs of the people. We're talking about wait lists. We're talking about people who are uninsured and can't get access to care. So as we look forward, we're going to be trying to figure out how we can solve those problems and actually put in place a budget and a process that's going to make a difference for working people in our state. Watch for more soon, but we expect this will be the last couple of weeks of session.